start of tonight's Wesco 4A clash, the 4A clash between Monroe Bearcats and the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. To the south end of the field, you got yourself the Bearcats. They're warming up, and they're in orange and black. And then you have the Mount Vernon Bulldogs here to the north end, and they're going to be in an all-white kit this evening. And I got a special guest here, Johnny Rocha, would like to say hello to everybody. And all right. Well, he's a little shy right now, but he's on the second team. They came up with another win, pushing their record to 3-0, and once again, doing some pressure on those in the 18 at the varsity. You just never know what might happen here in the weeks to come. There's always injuries, and there's grades and whatnot, and it'll probably be important for 1, 2, 3, 4 of the JV guys to come up and participate in this run to the state title, which hasn't happened since, I believe it's 1995, back when Matt Yeoman was in the net. Matt Yeoman is actually on the coaching staff. He's out there right now warming up the keepers, and he has quite a memory of those good days back then. And this bunch of boys here, they may not have even been alive at that point, but they certainly can feel the spirit and the ghosts of that state championship team, kind of urging them on to be the next ones to take that up and to raise a banner in the Mount Vernon gym, and that would be a pretty special thing. And this is just the third step. There's about 20 steps to get there. This is number 3, and it'll be a good test for the boys to see how they compare to the to Wesco competition. Got it? Good? All right. Hey, if there's ever a kid who wants to do it, student, I'm happy to share it. You know, I just I was talking to I'd love to do it if no one else steps up. So, all right, good. What do you need to see? With the turkey? It didn't go very long. Don't you want to let it go like for 10 minutes?
He wants to charge it right. He's leaving.
Oh, all right. Oh, here.
Going around the flu. What's that? Oh, yeah, sure.
Bet not.
What?
Bet.
does it pick up the people out there? Should I close that?
Eddie.
Right.
Eddie. Hey, this is right there.
Right. Yeah. My daughter goes to University.
Go! Hey! Hey! Yeah, let's go that side. Yeah, that side.
Go. Well, welcome back. We're 10 minutes, give or take a few, from kickoff, and there is a buzz, and there's a bit of a crowd even filling in at this point. Still lots of time as people start stream in slowly but surely, but lots of students, and yeah, there's just that sense of this could be special this year. Talking to Barry Barra throughout the winter, there was something in his voice that just kept on saying, focus, determination, commitment by this group of young men could lead to something that will be remembered. If nothing else, Bear certainly is an upstanding coach and also a contributing member of the Mount Vernon High School staff, as he's a school counselor, has been there several years, and is loved by students and staff, and is his encouragement to the community. Our goalkeepers this evening, you have two warming up right now, and just by the looks of it, it looks like Amador will be starting in goal this evening, and then Renee backing him up. I could be wrong on that, but just oftentimes the person who's in between the pipes to start during warm-ups will be the one to take that beginning. Amador's a big fella. He's got to be a good 6'2", and he's long. I mean, he stretches out, and probably the thing that's hard for him sometimes is just aggressiveness. But most of all, he's just a really solid keeper, holding his own, commands the back line well. Watching the Monroe Bearcats warm up, they have a very regimented feel to them. Everything's very scripted and diagrammed, and it'll be interesting to see if that's part of how they play. If you see these patterns come up, systems that just find their way through. You don't see other teams in the West go warm up like they do. It is unique, and it'll be interesting to see how they play. Anticipation continues to build. You can see our three referees making their way towards the field now. It's an experienced referee crew. They're going to be wearing their blue kit this evening.
Delayed. Maybe not tomorrow, but next week.
Well, welcome back to Mount Vernon High School. This is the home opener for the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. They've played away twice, once at Burlington Edison High School, where they won 4-0, and then they come back again a couple nights later. They follow that up by playing away at Oak Harbor on Whidbey Island, and they win there handily 5-0, and it begins to just start a bit of the train rolling, if you will. There's just that momentum that kicks in, and you just think, could this be? And so they played a varsity JV, a green-white game, a little over a week ago, and that went well. It was a good test, and there was a nice crowd out for that. There's still people screaming in. There's they're trying to build a culture here around the soccer programs, both the men's and women's. Just that this is something to be a part of. There's really excellent players that will find themselves playing in college once they finish their careers in high school, and they're not to be taken lightly. These are student athletes who take their game, their skill seriously, and they hope to just absolutely trounce their opponents throughout the season. Of course, always with a class, but there is there's something about them right now that you just think, this could be special. I know I keep saying that, but there is something about them. They are fast, they are strong, they are gritty. And I think one of the questions that will come up is if they find themselves in a battle. If Monroe comes out and plays them hard, will they be able to stay the course and not lose things? I'm going to turn things over to Mr. Helmer, who will do our PA this evening, and I'll be back in a minute.
Of concessions, Miss Veronica. She'll fill you up and lighten your wallet as you support the soccer team. Come on down and grab something hot to eat and drink.
Well, welcome back to Mount Vernon High School Stadium, and referees have blown for captains to come to center to have the coin toss. Teams are winding down their warm-ups. Mount Vernon has gathered on the side, and it'll be interesting to see the formation this evening, see if there's any changes from the previous two games. Shaking hands in the middle. Our captains, Jaime, Dakota, and Andres, all seniors, all excellent players in and of their own right. But when you play with them, they make you better. And for all those guys who may have some jitters, there is a great comfort to play alongside any one of them. They make you better every single day of the week, and probably twice on Sundays. They are just stellar players, and it would not surprise me to see them continue to play for years and years to come. They certainly would be playing in college, but beyond that, there is possibility. They are quite talented, and they wear the captain bands for a good reason. They are good leaders, both on and off the field. They work hard in practice and set a great example for the whole program. We're going to go to the PA announcer now, and that's Tim Helmer, a beloved member of this community, and he will be announcing our teams, starting lineups, and then we'll get ready to play that first match of Wesco, which is a tough slog. There are 14 games in the league, and each game is worth 3 points, and at the end of the day, they all count, obviously, and I'll turn it over to Tim.
Welcome to the dog pound here on the campus of Mount Vernon High School for another exciting contest. If you'll direct your attention to the far sideline of the soccer field for the introduction of tonight's opponent, the Monroe Bearcats, under the direction of head coach Fredo Perot. Number 20, Edgar Mendez. Number 18, Shane Riley. Number 17, Gustavo Garcia. Number 16, Luke Pope. Number 14, Jesus Garcia Ayala. Number 13, Roman Skirtle. Number 12, Matthew Klein. Number 11, David Arellano. Number 10, Jaime Arellano. Number 9, Marcos Arellano. Number 8, Gavin Joby. Number 7, Noah Herrick. Number 5, Caleb Matter. Also wearing number 5, Alejandro Alonso. Number 4, Valentin Gijon. Number 3, Cooper Slack. Number 2, Edwin Ayala. And your goalkeepers for the Bearcats, we have junior Osvaldo Nogales, we have junior Trevor Marks, and senior Tanner Ford. Now if you'll direct your attention to the near sideline of the soccer field for the introduction of our hometown favorite, now Fernando Bolas. 24, Edwin Tobias. Number 24, Francisco de la Cruz. Number 22, Luis Rivera Valles. Number 21, Marco Quezada. Number 20, Daniel Martinez Dominguez. Number 18, DeAndre Walker Martinez. Number 17, Jaime Vesper. Number 16, Monaco Garza. Number 15, David Garcia Peralta. Number 13, Jose Botero. Number 12, Dakota Stanley. Number 11, George Rodriguez. Number 9, Andres Mastero Torres. Number 7, Jesus Rodriguez. Number 5, Jim Brown. Number 4, Jose Arellano Silverio. Number 3, Daniel Colley. Number 2, Jonathan Salazar. And your goalkeepers for the Bulldogs, sophomore Rene Serrano Pacheco. And senior Amador Quiroga Aviles. The Bulldogs are under the direction of head coach Barabar. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you all please rise? Look at you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gentlemen, have a great game.
There are different segments in a season, and there are beginning points and whatnot. And this would be part 2 of the season. Following that preseason training, there were the tryouts, the formation of the various teams, and then deciding at starting 11. Having the preseason both at Burlington Edison High School, followed by Oak Harbor High School, you find yourself now in the first moments of the Wesco League. And there's a lot on the line. If you win the Wesco League, you will find yourself directly going to the championship game for the division title, and it'll be pretty excellent. Just getting a little wave there from some of the staff on the sideline. Bear has a wonderful staff together to move these boys towards the goal of winning a Wesco for a league title, and then winning the district championships and making their way into the state tournament. It's been a long time since Mount Vernon hosted the first round of state. That would be a tremendous opportunity to be able to have people come to this stadium to play against these boys. So our starting lineup in the back, starting with Edwin, Jaime, Ian, and Jesus. In the midfield, Dakota, Marcos, Jonathan, and Andres. And up front, Luis and Jorge. I believe that is 23, Francisco de la Cruz.
Does Francisco go by Jorge up front? Jorge.
And we're in the first minute, and we're going to go directly to a corner kick. Jorge's going to go ahead and grab that ball to begin with. And it's a beginning moment here to see how the boys will do with a set piece. It certainly is something that the Mount Vernon Bulldogs do practice on a regular basis, of just setting up some type of set piece where they've practiced this particular thing. And there's the ball into Andres. Andres back to Jorge. Jorge with a nifty little move and swings it across. And there's Edwin with a header and on ball and a little bit of contact. Dakota, a little how's your mother right there, gives him a little bump. And just lets keeper know that he's in for, it could get physical. Free kick, Bearcats. Dakota. Jesus, Dakota, Javi, Marcos, Marco, unfortunate touch. He wishes he had that one back, but back they retreat. Luis, Andres. Although we're only 3 minutes into the match, you get a sense that Monroe is a little overwhelmed at the moment. Ball just sitting in on top of them and trying to figure out what they're going to do. Mount Vernon is sitting in a 4-4-2. The 4-4-2, the four in the middle of that four in the midfield, Andres and Dakota. And that's a wonderful through ball. Jonathan, and just was robbed by the keeper, who really did not know much about that. But anyhow, he got a hold of it. But luckily, as I was saying, Andres and Dakota is sitting in the center of the midfield. Dakota as a holding center midfielder, and Andres being free to kind of roam as he wishes. And then Jonathan and Marco finding their way up into the wings. Ian, Andres, Jaime, Marcos, Marco, Dakota, and if you're a Monroe Bearcat right now, you have got to wonder what is going on. They are streaming through right now, and it's really a matter of time unless Monroe figures out some way to manage both Dakota and Andres, as they are just slicing and dicing and making the Monroe Bearcats look a bit shell-shocked at the moment. Although no goals have been scored, it feels imminent. Throw in Bearcats. And corner kick Bearcats. And let's see what the Bearcats have put together. Judging from their warm-ups, they were regimented. They have a way of doing things. Perhaps this is one of the things that they have worked on in a tremendous fashion over the course of the last 2-3 weeks in preparation for their Westco opener. And the ball is crossed, drifts through. And well done by Andres. It's a big moment for Luis, also known as Luigi. Luis is he's young, he's a sophomore, and it's quite an honor to be given a starting position this young in his career. Jonathan, Edwin, began the season at Burlington Edison High School, scoring 2 from his left back position, and really giving the emphasis to the word wing in a wing back. He got forward with lightning speed and really showed himself to be a weapon even from the back line. And I think that's one of the things you hope for from this Mount Vernon Bulldog team, is that at any given time, any player can contribute in a dynamic way, both offensively and defensively. Dakota. Finds Jesus. And a goal kick. There's a terrific ball by Dakota. Unfortunate for Jesus. Again showing just getting up from the back. They have been green lighted by Coach Barry Barra to just get forward. Jaime with a push in the back and easily spotted by just about everybody. Maybe there were a few grandma and grandpas who missed that one. But nevertheless, free kick by the Monroe Bearcats. Captain Matthew Klein on the ball. Lofts it in. And a foul called. And you can see the Bearcats retreating, forming their walls. Luigi, Andres, Dakota. Andres. Edwin. Jesus. And it got tight in there, but then the flag goes up. And that may be what they're looking for. Just that quick counter. It's something that both Ian and Jaime are going to have to be aware of, just that quick release that could come from number 9. Another of the captains for the Bearcats, Marcos Aureliano. Edwin. Ian. Luigi. Jonathan. Edwin. Jonathan. Jaime. Vasquez. Dakota Stamnis. Edwin Subius. Jonathan Salazar. Amador Avias. Andres. Luis Rivera. And throw in Bearcats. Ian, Andres, Ian Brown, Edwin Subius, Ian Brown, and a turnover. Ian Brown, calm. Giveaway, Jonathan, Edwin, Dakota with poor touch. He'll be disappointed with himself on that. And a decent effort from distance. It's going to be hard to beat Amador up high. He's not one to lose the things on the top shelf. He might have a little bit harder time down low. Jaime Vasquez. Luigi, Jonathan Salazar. Javi with an effort. Couldn't quite get there. I was confused with Javi's number. It's changed in the program, but that is Javi. Edwin with a good tackle. Helped by Jonathan. Edwin. And we lost a little rhythm in the last 5 or so minutes. It's always a little concerning when you just lose your way. And there's a through ball, and Javi wants it. And their keeper certainly is prepared to come up. Well read by Marco. Throw in Bearcats. Jesus, Jaime, Andres strong on the ball. Jonathan, such quick feet. Ian Brown, steady. Edwin, Jonathan, Jaime. It's just a dance out there. It's wonderful to watch these boys. They have such good rhythm. Tremendous ball by, good ball by Jaime, and just out of reach of Luis. And you can see what Mount Vernon's trying to do right now. They're trying to stretch the Bearcats. And their keeper's doing a good job being a bit of a keeper sweeper, keeping a high line and snagging some. Might have to put a little more loft on that ball just to slow it down and give the Mount Vernon Bulldogs the opportunity to get to it and create a little bit of separation. Amador to Edwin. Uh-oh. And a corner kick. That took a little bit of our breath away here up in the booth, and you want to get those out because later on in the season that may come back to bite you. At this point, no harm, but certainly a cautionary moment, just considering the lack of discipline right there. And ball gets cleared, and a counter. And Javi with a great pace, looking to change directions, leaves it, Andres, and Bearcats, very good in terms of discipline, get back. And that's a counter you'd like to see coming off of a corner kick, but unfortunately, Javi was not able to convert that into something a little more dangerous, but nevertheless, Mount Vernon continues to hold the ball. Javi. You heard that bark there. I just heard Barry Barr just give a shout. They got to work white, and that's a common theme for this team is their commitment to working hard. And I think every now and then you're going to hear Coach Barry Barr just remind the boys that is a central tenet to this season's success will be their willingness to work hard even when things are not going as easily as they might hope. Andres with the block. Bearcats trying to build out of the back, but it is awfully challenging. These Mount Vernon Bulldogs are they are swarming. A good tackle there, unfortunate for Marco. But another quick turnover. Jesus on the ball. Dakota. Luigi. Andres. Javi. And Javi with just a tremendous burst to the inside, opened everything up for himself, and then just pulled the trigger, and it came off quite a ways to the right. But another glimmer of what may be, and again, Mount Vernon trying to build on that. Good throw ball. Javi Second shot in the less than 30 seconds. A really nice crowd this evening. Several hundred kids out here this evening supporting their Mount Vernon Bulldog friends, students. Only thing missing is maybe a pep band. Maybe Mr. Scher, Mr. Ordonez could make that happen here in the spring. Maybe a drum line, that would be awfully fun to have out here. Add to just what's going on. A little nervous right now in the back. Ian Brown feeling a little pressure and finds his way out. Good release to Edwin. Edwin dances by easily, and this is probably what we're looking at. Just that little lack of quality at this point, and wanting to get through. But the season's still young. The quality is going to come, and we'll find our way there. I don't see that very often. Turnover on a foul throw. I don't know exactly what that was, but something there. Bulldogs are looking to make their first change. Barry Barr is going to bring on DeAndre Walker Martinez, and DeAndre is senior and is quick. He is aggressive and smooth on the ball, to say the least. And that will find its way over for a goal kick for Amador. It's always a curious thing when goalkeepers have their shoes untied because they have their gloves on and are taped on. It's not exactly easy for them to do anything. So oftentimes they'll have to have a teammate come and do it, and it's a little bit like going back to kindergarten or first grade where the teacher's tying shoes continuously. That is a dangerous ball and a foul on the Bearcats, but still a dangerous ball by Jaime through the middle. You don't want to give that up and find yourself having them come right back down their throat. And offsides. And you can see what they're trying to do. They're just doing a quick counter. Hardly looking, but just coming. And here's a change that we talked about just a moment ago. DeAndre comes in for Luigi. Luigi with a wonderful start there. He was quiet occasionally, but when he was on the ball, he did create some chances. And yeah, it's early, and he's going to find himself doing really good things throughout the year. I'm sure of it. Javi holding the ball up well. Javi to Stamnis. Andres. Jaime. Edwin. Hi, Javi. First touch by DeAndre. Edwin. And a crack, but just wide. Just watching the game from up top a little bit here, perspective. The game is narrow. The boys are playing with inside the numbers, and that tells me they're playing at about a width of about 40 yards. I'm sure that Bear will want them to be using those channels on the outside a bit more, getting the ball out to Marco and Jonathan, and then the wingbacks with Edwin and Jesus. That'll open up the middle for DeAndre and Javi and Andres in particular. But right now it is really tight. Jaime easily wins that header. Andres, DeAndre. Ian Brown dancing on the ball. Edwin has it stolen away easily. Andres. Ian Amador with a and again, a source of concern, and you can see the heads of the coaching staff give a quick little glance at one another, thinking that needs to be cleaned up. That is something that is not going to be acceptable, especially if these Bulldogs are hoping to really make some noise, not only here in Wesco, but in the state. DeAndre, a 2-on-2, has Javi, and unfortunate. Ball out to Jesus. Jesus 1v1, pulls it back to Marco. Marco to Stamnis. Stamnis man on. It's tight. It is very tight in there. DeAndre coming through. Keeper. And it is a scrum, and in the end, the Bearcat keeper finds himself with the ball. And a bit of a magic trick there by him, being able to find that thing in the midst of that clutter of legs. And that was closer, but again, offsides, as Mount Vernon, good disciplined in terms of holding a line together, no one straggling. Stamnis. Jaime. Andres. And this is when you'd like to see him switch play. You have Edwin just with miles and miles of space on the other side of the field, easy to see from up high, the vantage point, but the change of direction is just not happening as quickly as they would like to, I think. Amador. And just very calm on the ball, Amador is, and he has not caused real damage at this point, but he is toying with it a little bit, and he's been given a little word by assistant coach Efren, and a little directive to pick it up a little bit. Edwin on the ball now to Stamnis. Andres. Jesus. And again, you just wonder about a double change, being able to go both ways very quickly. Coming to the right, then the left, and back to the right would catch the Bearcats off guard. Substitute for the Bearcats, so that's their first change. And the lights are beginning to take effect. Jesus, Andres, Jaime, Jesus, Marco, and there it is. That's the change of direction that you're kind of hoping for. And a good ball in, mishandled by the Bearcats. Ball on it. Oh, and a rocket! An absolute blistering shot. Keeper, I'm sure, is just wondering about the power behind that one as he looks at his hands a little bit and thinks, And unfortunate for Andres that just did not find its way a little bit left or right of the keeper. I'm sure that would have found its way into the net if it had. Andres with a run. And Jesus overlapping. Stamnis. Edwin. DeAndre making a run outside. And Edwin beat off the ball. But quickly challenged. DeAndre through. DeAndre shot. And again, Bearcat keeper just living dangerously, but saving the Bearcats to this point. And a through ball And an offsides flag comes up, and awfully close. Brown. Goes out for a goal kick. Amador well prepared on that. Now Vernon picking up a couple more guys to warm up. Number 11, Jorge. Javi, Andres, Marco, Javi, Marco. Oh! And since coming on, DeAndre has created some chances. And a sub for the Mount Vernon Bulldogs as Javi makes way for Jorge. And that's a very much a like for like substitution right there. Those two, they're very interchangeable. Both strong, fast, committed, love to score, and Stamnis now on the ball. Marco. Jorge with the opening little run, and just could not get to that one as it just made its way off the artificial turf here in Mount Vernon, Washington. My name is Bernd Strom, stromthebomb.com kind of guy. I'm glad to be doing this play-by-play for you. I have not done a lot of this, but I sure enjoy watching the Bulldogs play and being a part of this program. Jaime with aggressive header, but called for a foul as he came over the top. And once again, opportunity for the Bearcats as we get into the 30th minute of play. And a little surprising that we're still knotted at zeros. And goal kick for Mount Vernon with Amador. Yeah, 30 minutes in, no score. Bulldogs 0, Bearcats 0. And the opening league game here of Wesco 4A. There are no easy games in Wesco. They are all challenging. The best team, league winners, are never out of reach of those who find themselves a little lower in the table. It's a competitive league. Teams are strong, they're fast, and skilled, and it's really fractions that make the difference between teams winning easily and those that struggle. And right now, Mount Vernon has just been close, so close to finding their way through, but just unfortunate to this point. Jesus, Stamnis, DeAndre, shot, save, shot, and just wide again, and it is perplexing. It's close. It's coming. Daniel Martinez Dominguez enters the match. He will take the place of Jonathan Salazar. And Jonathan Salazar has had a very steady game to this point. Very steady. Contributed a lot. Sometimes the field can tilt a little bit away from the home team's bench. And so the far side of the field can get lost a little bit as players play a little bit more to the home side. Here's an opportunity, though, as the team makes its way up the left flank. Ian Brown with the ball, throws it in. Oh, what a move that was. DeAndre unfortunately loses it there. And the commitment of the Bulldogs to get back and win the ball right away. And the pressure's on Marco. And a shot to keeper, and that That really will not challenge him. This keeper has shown himself to be very, very strong to this point. Slide tackle by Daniel. Ian Brown. And goodness. It's that little mistake, and in they are, and Marcos Arellano once again makes his way into the box and had an opportunity, and I think the Bearcats are going to rue those mistakes when they've had opportunities to get in to not actually put it on frame. And a little mistake there by Jesus, handball, free kick Bearcats. Just outside of the box. Amador setting his wall, 2 in the wall. Mount Vernon sets up man-to-man. And Jesus easily blocks it. Marco to Jaime. Jaime making a run forward. And that's a bit ambitious by Jaime. But nevertheless, a good idea, and certainly far from our net, and giving Mount Vernon an opportunity to reset. Daniel. DeAndre. Andres. Jesus, can he get there? Yes, he can. He's got lightning feet. Gets by and goes out for a corner. Well worked there. Marco going for the corner. Sets up quickly. And now allows some of the bigger fellas to get forward. One being Jaime. Jesus coming for a short kick, but declines that. Far post. And up in the air it goes, and keeper again collects it. We are now 5 minutes to half. We're in the 35th minute. Stamness. A rare giveaway. Marco fighting again, gets the ball back. And we might have liked to have had advantage there. But again, a bing bing, and it's off to the races. Here we go. Andres on the ball. Andres leaves it. And trots on forward. Jaime sets the ball. Ian Brown drops back to the one Bearcat danger. Ball into DeAndre. DeAndre keeps fighting. Gets a touch on it. Jesus to Marco. Marco, unfortunate. Jaime finds a wonderful ball to the back post and flicked off of the Bearcats, and a throw into Edwin and the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. Edwin holds the ball. A long throw, and in the end into the goalkeeper's hands. And here's the quick counter again. Jaime holds it up well. Like a brick wall right there. Could give him a middle name, a brick wall. Andres attacking. Andres. DeAndre. Andres. And there's some confusion on that call. Andres not happy with it, pleading his case to the referee, but referee, it's pretty difficult to ever change a referee's mind, and at this level we do not have video assistance, any review, and well, we'll just go ahead and go forward with it anyhow. Throw in, Bearcats. Stamness. Jaime to Amador. Amador with a sloppy touch. And he'll pick it up. Daniel, Andres, DeAndre, Daniel, cross, Andres in the middle, DeAndre, and it is just tight in the middle. You have to give it to the Bearcats. They have played by the skin of their teeth and held on. Long cross by Edwin to Jesus. Jesus easily holds the ball. Marco. Stamnus. And offsides by Jorge. And maybe just a little bit of frustration seeping in for the Bulldogs. I think anytime you have a home opener like this, you have great expectations, and they are just finding themselves up against a real strong defense at this point. The Bearcats are probably pretty pleased with themselves and just what they've been able to create. Stamnus. Edwin with a great read. Andres. Marco to Jesus. A little magic in the last minute here. Marco flexes. And as I mentioned, a little frustration there by Jorge. Unnecessary. Takes the thumb off of the Bearcats. Marco with a good touch. Javi, great hustle. Jorge with a great hustle. DeAndre, can you swing by? Shot blocked. And again, and there, referee signals halftime, and we will go to the locker rooms. 10-minute break, and Mount Vernon will walk its way off the field. The Bearcats on a jog, and that may say something just as we get to the halftime. The Bearcats are obviously thrilled with where they are at the moment, 0-0, and the Bulldogs will have to figure a way through in the second half. They've played well at times, and there's a little frustration coming there at the end. But we'll see. There's no danger at this point. 0-0. And this is Bernd Strom, the Stromer, and I'll get back to you in about 8 minutes. Welcome back, Mount Vernon soccer fans. We are here streaming live at MVHS TV, and it's pretty exciting to be able to air these this season. And I am Bernd Strom, the Stromer, coming to you live this evening here in Mount Vernon, Washington. It's a cool evening. The teams are returning to the field. The Mount Vernon Bulldogs have returned, and the Bearcats are still not quite here. And that's maybe a little gamesmanship on their part. I'm not sure what that's about. Fans a little restless, hearing a few whistles, and that's always a little bit fun. Lets you know things. Not exactly sure what the standard procedure is for referees in this point. If they can caution the coach for the Bearcats for unsporting behavior, but that's beside the point. The Mount Vernon Bulldogs obviously are going to come out the second half here with a hope to break through that Bearcat wall. A couple of changes to make note of. The Mount Vernon Bulldogs change the back line. They bring in Daniel Pauly, who takes over for Ian Brown, and Monaco Garza comes in on the right side, and he takes over for Jesus. The midfield remains the same, and up front we go back to the original lineup, the original starters, and that's Javi and Luigi. And we're just about to kick off second half. We're in the 40th minute, and we'll count our way up to 80. And we hope for better things here for the Bulldogs as we begin the second half. Referee counting, making sure everybody's in the right spots. Numbers on the field, 11v11. And there's the kickoff. Andres to Edwin, to Daniel Pauly, Dakota, Monaco, Andres, Monaco. I don't know how he got through there. I'm not sure if there's a magician's class at Mount Vernon High, an elective, and a quick opportunity. And Andres truly did put on his magician's hat as he squirmed through a fair number of players and then just threaded the needle, seeing Jonathan through, and Jonathan just couldn't quite bend that to the back post. But promising start to the second half. Monaco Garza hasn't missed a beat coming in. Daniel Pauly with a good touch there to Jonathan. Stamnus. And oh, fantastic by Luigi. Such vision. Edwin getting forward. Leaves it for Stamnus. Stamnus. Unfortunate not to get through there. You wonder what the Bearcats said at halftime. Something probably along the lines of, hey, let's keep doing the same thing, and we'll hope that our goalkeeper can just absolutely keep the clean sheet. Mount Vernon, on the other hand, their halftime was probably something along the lines of, boys, be calm, keep working hard, it will come. And a changing goal as well, I didn't mention that, that's Rene Serrano. Rene comes in and takes over for Amador. Rene, a sophomore, and a excellent goalkeeper. Fearless and hard-working all the time. Good communicator and a good channel right there. Edwin coming back, knocking the ball out, and a corner kick for the Monroe Bearcats. Corner kick. Cleared. Throw in Garza. Jaime. Vasquez. Daniel Pauly. Edwin. Oh, Marco with a deft touch. Oh, and the pace. Oh, ref! My goodness. I found myself going into coach's mode. I couldn't hardly handle it. I apologize for that. I found myself wanting to cry out to the referee, but no call given. Seemed to have been a foul, but none given, as Marco just came racing through with real determination and quickness, and he was knocked off the ball. Apparently the referee felt like there was nothing there, and we continue play in the 44th minute. Throw in Garza. Through ball, Jonathan Salazar. Oh my goodness, goodness. What a fantastic bit of footwork there. And all for naught though, as he drags it to the near post. I'm sure right now that you can see a little bit of motion there by Coach Ibarra saying maybe the back post would be better. You kind of hope for that, as the keeper then, if he makes a save, pushes it back into the field of play. And here comes Jonathan again, opportunity to redeem, sends it through to Luigi, and Luigi, as quick as he is, and he is a rocket, not able to quite get to that one. And we find ourselves in the 45th minute. Now Vernon sets, looking to win. Goal kick, and they do. And a change of direction. And Marco through. And tackled. Wesco League, 3 points for a win. 1 point for a tie. No goals given. Daniel Pauly very strong. And he's run over by number 9, who is a threat. Just watching him play. That again is Marcos Aurelano. And he is something. He is a handful. But so far, both Jaime, Ian, and Daniel have done well to keep him in check. Edwin. Subius, Luigi, Luis, Edwin, Andres, Jonathan, Stamnus, Jaime, Stamnus, Jaime, Mount Vernon wants to hit that long ball over the top, and it's a challenging ball. It's not that Mount Vernon is particularly big up the middle. They don't have that dominating center forward, a 6'2", hulk of a forward who's just going to create havoc by his sheer presence. The Mount Vernon forwards are those they are quick, and they can move the ball, but they are not giants. Edwin making his way forward. Good touch inside, but unfortunate not to get there. Jaime cleans it up. Marco, great touch. Still fighting. Garza steps in. Jaime collects to Rene. Rene easily controls the ball, slides it out to Edwin. Rene probably could easily play on the field. He's such a good player, both as a goalkeeper, but also able to just skill play and keep the ball for the Bulldogs. And the referee has called something for the Bearcats, and seems to be a bit of a phantom call. Love to see that on replay, but yes, unfortunate. Jonathan tracking back. The Bulldogs finding their men. I'm not sure if that was a shot on goal or not, but that is, and that's going to go wide. Ball to the Bulldogs. Renee Serrano with a goal kick to Daniel Pauly. Daniel the Stamness. Jonathan with a nifty turn. And Andres with an uncharacteristic loss of the ball. But Daniel there to clean things up. And a little bit of head scratching right now for the Bulldogs as they're trying to figure themselves out. A lot of expectation on these boys. They have played together, some of them, since they were barely able to walk. And they played for a team called the MV Bombers, some for Northwest United. Others have played for Snohomish United and other teams, Whatcom Rangers. And it's just a collection of very good players who now find themselves trying to coalesce into a team. Luigi with some dancing. And more dancing. It's not a prom, but it's starting to look a little bit like one. And from behind, a foul finally is called in Mount Vernon's favor. Edwin puts the ball down, and the ball is rolling, and the referee did not like that and asks for it to be put down again. Again, just eyeballing the crowd, several hundred people here tonight, and being treated to some excellent soccer. Unfortunately, no goals thus far. Always a bit of a bugaboo in the game for those who love high-scoring affairs, but it is entertaining. It has had its moments, and it's just waiting for that one special little bit of magic for the Bulldogs to get through. Daniel Pauly with the control up to his head. Jonathan Salazar being ridden like a horse, and again, no call though. Vernon not getting the benefit of the doubt much with this referee, but we'll hope for something soon. And a clear far corner, and Jaime easily takes control of that. Monaco Garza on the throw-in. Marco, Jaime, Andres, Javi, Stamness, Luigi, Edwin, and a disappointing cross. You just want better. Jaime. And again, the Mount Vernon resets. Will they find their way through? We are now into the 62nd minute. Ball on top to Stamness. He's on top, takes a drive. Oh! And the keeper knew very little of that. He was scrambling and he was praying that that was going to go wide. And fortunately for him, he finds himself just being able to collect the ball. And for another goal kick. Stamness, though, making a good effort there, giving it a good drive with that left peg of his, showing his ability to play both left and right. Very talented midfielder out of Mount Vernon, Washington. Andres. Marco, Stamness, Dakota, and this time with his right, launches it into the night sky, and unfortunately, it just kept drifting higher and higher into that sky. Just wonder if those channels on the outside with Marco and Jonathan, Monaco Garza and Edwin getting forward will be able to break down this Monroe defense. Stamnus winning the header. Garza to Marco. Marco with a touch to the center and just out of reach. Stamnus, Garza. Referee has reached to his pocket and has issued a caution, a yellow card, the first of the match for either team, number 14. Jesus Garcia. And this free kick will come out about 25 yards out at an angle. And it's a bit of a corner kick of sorts. Referee has waved to continue play. Andres and Marco on the ball. Jaime has made his way forward. And Jaime gets to it and gets a flick to the back post. Luigi challenging, goes for a corner kick. And this is where you want the Bulldogs to hem them in, close them down, pinch them, and nick one. Just get a quick turnover and get to goal and bury them quickly. Throw in. And a turnover, it goes to Mount Vernon. Edwin Subius with a throw in. Garza making his way forward. Give and go. And unfortunate, not able to get that. Marco on the right with Garza. Hoping for a combination there. Andres. Luigi. Andres. Oh, tried to sneak it through. Javi. And it's tight right now. Need to find those openings, those gaps. Javi surrounded. Javi battled hard. And the referee stops play. I'm not sure if that's what he sought to do there. Oftentimes what you'll see there is sporting play is for Mount Vernon to have knocked it out. He didn't give much time. But Monroe player down on the ground. Number 11. David Orellano. And David seems to have made a miraculous recovery. He was down. It looked like he needed to maybe have the ambulance come and get him, but magic happens, and he's back on his feet and looking quite spry. After looking like he might have needed to maybe go on to hospice or something like that, he's fine now. Fantastic tackle by Stamnus, given back to Monroe. Tackle. And dress. And dress. And dress. And there it is! It's done! They made it! It's a goal! It's a goal! And it took a while, but they have finally broken through, and there was a bit of magic on the far right by Andres, crossing it to Jonathan. Jonathan with a little bit of a head cross, back across, dummied in the middle, and Stamnus buries it, putting the Mount Vernon Bulldogs up 1-0 And it's not over, but the way the game has gone, you have to like where this is going. And again, Wesco 4A, all it takes is one, really. This is it. That was a beautiful little combination play. And really out of nothing, Andres doing some magic on the far side and got away. Great cross to the back end. And it's hard to defend when that ball zips back and forth. And sure enough, that was it. And you can see a little life in that Mount Vernon Bulldog team right now. Something happens when you score that goal. It just, all that effort, all that weight of not being able to get there. And just like that, an opportunity for the Bearcats. And there is a statistic in soccer. I don't know how well it's actually documented, but it is at the first 5 and second 5, or last 5 of every half. And then any 5-minute time after a goal is scored, you will find yourself with another goal coming, either a response by the opposing team or a burying goal. And at this point, Mount Vernon wants to be in that burying sense. They want to put the Bearcats away and finish these boys off. Right now there's a stoppage in play as one of the Bearcats is down on the ground. It looks like number 17, and that is Gustavo Garcia. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he's hurting a little bit, and he's going to come off the field. They're motioning for a sub. Got some Mount Vernon Bulldog players are warming up on the sideline. Number 4, Jose Aurelio Silverio. DeAndre up again, and Ian Brown. We have reached the halfway point of the second half with just under 20 minutes left. We're at 60 minutes in. And a clear by Jonathan. Not the prettiest clear, but I'll tell you, any time a ball is cleared and the pressure is taken off, everyone's pretty happy about that. The sub is for Luigi, and Luigi again put in a good shift. He is learning a lot and growing into his role on this team. Ball through. Javi. Little token pressure. Andres. Marco. Unlucky for Marco there. Well read. And this is where you want a little discipline from the Bulldogs. Hold things together. Keep their shape. Solid 4-4-2. And Ian Brown re-enters the match, and Daniel Pauly will come off. Daniel acquitted himself well that half, finding himself very calmly playing center back, and there was really no difference in between the two. They both play very strong and steady. Excellent play in the back thus far. Little pressure, and Stamnus comes in and he takes a knock. Sometimes you get in a position where you have to decide whether to take a tackle or not, and sometimes the Bulldogs may want to think about when they go into a tackle, and you can see Stamnus is hurting. He may have taken it on the knee. And a drop to Andres. Far post. There's a run by Monaco Garza. Monaco back to Stamnus. You can hear the crowd occasionally, especially whenever Stamnus or Andres get the ball. Just that expectation that something's going to happen. Edwin. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He just about snuck through. And a good tackle. And Edwin just about created some magic himself. It's awfully fun to be here at Bulldog Stadium. Crowd, knowledgeable crowd. Lots of these young students here play, and you can hear them oohing and awing throughout. Jesus has just checked in, and he came on. I don't know who he came on for Edwin. Edwin just came off. And oh, this could be trouble. And it is. And a disappointment there for the Bulldogs. And that was at number 9. He is a handful, and he certainly proved it there. Marcos Arellano. And the Bulldogs now will have to dig deep again. Find that change. At the 64th minute, Bulldogs find themselves again in a fight. It's a little quiet right now in the stadium. People try to catch their breath and get their heads around what just happened. Seemingly out of nothing, the Bearcats find themselves back in this match, tied up 1-1. Corner or throw in to Jesus. Ian Brown. Jesus. Jonathan. Stamnus. Jaime. Jose. And Andres winds up and just swings wide. Goal kick, Bearcats. And change of field, Ian Brown. Jonathan Salazar. Andres. And keeper comes off. And just that much too much. And that goes to Javi, drops back. And DeAndre has checked in. Jonathan Salazar takes the ball, loses it, and Bearcats just knock it up. A bit like a little bit of hockey moment there, just knocking it into the corner and icing it. Jonathan. Garza. DeAndre. Salazar. Jesus. And once again, absolutely terrific. Absolutely terrific. Garza checks out. Jesus swings to the right. Edwin back to the left. And so much effort being pushed around right now. Jose to Javi, to Andres, to Edwin. DeAndre to Jaime. The possession in this game would probably be something 65-35 in terms of the amount of possession, maybe even higher. Mount Vernon has just continued to just hold the ball and make way forward, but it just has not amounted to any real opportunities that have challenged all that often. You just wonder what it's going to take, and there it is. Silly fall really by the Bearcats as they were holding things just fine. And a free kick. And Jaime gets invited to go forward. And there he is. Jaime, through ball, unlucky. DeAndre fighting very hard. And he's going to be called for a foul. And the referee has dropped his card. And he's given a yellow card to DeAndre, although from this distance it looked an awful lot like the Bearcat player was the one who threw the elbow. But here we are. And Marco comes on, DeAndre comes off, and I imagine that Javi will slide back forward. It is very close to the original starting lineup now. Jose up front with Javi. Javi puts pressure on. And the Bulldogs all scrambling forward and a long ball across the field. Jonathan closes quickly. And a tackle, and there's the turnover that you're hoping for. Andreas with a shot, and oh, that just might have tickled the post. Hard from this angle to say, but that was very close, and that is what that's what Barry Barr would like to see from this team, is that closing down, creating the turnovers quickly, and getting to goal. One. We're under 10 minutes. We're into the 71st minute. Bearcats up top to their danger, and Renee with a big cross out. Bearcats holding, and that might be the most they've held the ball there. In some trouble here. Renee to Ian to Dakota, and a foul. And it's just constant on Stamnus, just that persistent fouling, and the referee does not reach to his pocket. Brown. Edwin. Andres. And it's in. It's in. And a fortunate deflection. A great move by Andres. And sure enough, Mount Vernon finds itself back up 2-1, and a terrific moment there by Andres. And sometimes the good ones, they make their own luck. And there's a good example of it. Fighting hard, keeping his head into it. Andres, number 9, putting the Mount Vernon Bulldogs back up 2-1. And now it's just a little bit of hang-on time. Hasn't been the prettiest of games. It's been a battle. And it's 2-1 in the 73rd minute. Long by ball by the Bearcats, and here they come again. And Jaime wisely sends that into the stands. Bearcats now with a sense of urgency, and you just wonder, do the Bulldogs sit on this, or do they find themselves still trying to create and find that last goal to just kind of break the Bearcat back. Stamnus with a clear into the upper stratosphere, and a second one just for good measure. Nice control by Bearcats. Back to their keeper. Keeper has done quite well this evening. And here's that pressure you want to see. Javi. And a quick throw in. Andres. DeAndre. Andres. You're looking for a little bit of possession here, just some caliber play on the ball, and that's not what you're looking for. Putting pressure on Jaime. Edwin, unfortunate. Couldn't keep that in play. Throw in Bearcats. And double teamed, and foul on the Bearcats. It's hard to tell at this point if the Bearcats are the top half of the league or the bottom half. Just by the score line, you'd think that they are a top half of the league kind of team, but scores can be deceiving. I am almost assured that there is a magic class at Mount Vernon High School. These boys are pulling out some tricks that are mind-blowing. Jaime. And throw in. And we're beginning to watch the clock a little bit. 4:43 left. 80, or the 76th minute. Throw in Bearcats. Referee has not pointed in any particular direction. It looks to be by just the flow of the players that it is going to be a Mount Vernon free kick. Andres. Brown. Edwin. Jonathan. Andres. Jesus. Marco. And a clear, and that'll go for a throw-in for the Mount Vernon Bulldogs. March 20th. Will this be a date that we remember in this league table as the beginning of a special season? And Ian Brown with a clear. Andres flicking it on. Another flick. And a foul by Andres. Ball goes onto the ground. Marco, always a gamer, easily steps in front of the ball, slows down the counter attack. Smart play. Ian Brown with a big header out. Jesus clears, and the counter's on. Javi. Jesus. And stripped. And Jesus is going to go into the book. Apparently in Westco play, a caution results in a player having to take time out of the game, and he's subbed out, and Monaco Garza returns to play. If there ever is a good foul, that may have been a time. And the ball is floated in. And Bearcats on the ball and cleared by Mount Vernon. It's good to be with you here on MVHS TV on our maiden voyage of the Mount Vernon High School Bulldogs spring men's soccer campaign as they make a march towards May and a possible opportunity to get a second state title. It's been a number of years, well over 20, and it would be something to celebrate here in the Skagit Valley to see a team rise to that level. I would say tonight's game has not seemed like a state championship caliber type win, but nevertheless, a win is a win, and looking to switch the play, and he's on. Marco to the far post, looking to cross it now. Oh, and on top to Stamnis, sets up for a rocket, and nothing there. Might have been better to have played it out to Edwin at that point. Jaime taking care of business as he almost always does. Great little flick, shot, and just wide. And again, Mount Vernon in love with the near post shot. And the referee, though, the AR has waved that the ball was not stopped on that goal kick. So obviously time is a issue at this point for the Bearcats. Down one, needing to get forward and make an opportunity, which they have had few and far between. Ball floated into the middle. Jonathan with a flick. Ian Brown just clearing it. Jonathan Salazar with the ball. Edwin, Subius, DeAndre, Jonathan, Edwin, Jonathan. Well seen there by Jonathan. Marco making a foray. Oh, and a terrific saving tackle by the Bearcats. And at this point, the Bulldogs are just pleased to put the ball to the side and just run precious seconds off of the clock. There were a few cautions. There was a couple of injuries, so perhaps a little bit of injury time, but not much. Terrific flick. Javi. And again, that near post rather than finding the far post. The first goal Mount Vernon did score was on a far post ball, nodded back across by Jonathan Salazar and struck with venom by Stamnis, and a launch deep from DeAndre, and that may have been a bit ambitious. Referee has looked at his watch. And dress. Javi, Edwin, Ian, Edwin, Jonathan, DeAndre, and dress. And that's the one! That's gonna bury the game! And you just knew it was a matter of time, and the floodgates are beginning to open. There may not be much time to add anymore, but it's certainly, that is the nail in the coffin. The Bearcats hanging their heads, tired. Nevertheless, they had quite a good effort themselves. Nothing to really hang their heads about. This Mount Vernon team is hard-working and do not let up. And it's just a matter of trying to keep them out, and they are going to continue to come at you in waves. That goal by Marco, and that's his first for Wesco League play this year. Referee again looking at his watch, and that's it. The clock has wound down. We have played our 80 minutes, and that is the end of our first Wesco league game as Mount Vernon Bulldogs go away with the win, 3 to the Bearcats 1. It has been a privilege to be with you this evening on MVHS TV here in Mount Vernon, Washington, as the Bulldogs go away with their first league win, 3 points, and we will see you again perhaps soon as the next match is on Friday evening. We hope you come out to the stadium, and if not, come out and watch us on YouTube at MVHS TV. Have a good evening.